So I'm going to be doing kind of a first impressions video on the new MAC collection, the Semi Precious collection. I have about half of the collection right here. All I've done is taken some photos of them and I swatched some of the mineralized eyeshadows, but for the most part this is like a first impressions, kind of first look at this collection. This collection is released in the US on July 7th, so next Thursday, so this is kind of like a preview for any of you guys who are thinking about getting anything. So we'll start with the eyeshadows that I have, and I think this collection has 12, I believe I have 6. This is Mineral Mode, Faux Gold, Golden Gaze, Jade's Fortune, and then Blue Sheen. Dark Indulgence. I've used the mineralized eyeshadows before from MAC, and I find that the ones that have the best color payoff are definitely the ones with more of a black swirl in them. A lot of the times the ones that look like planets are really deceiving and they look really pretty in the actual container, but when you swatch them it's a totally different story. Take Jade's Fortune for example. This is my favorite one in the actual container. It is such a cool looking eyeshadow. It has all these fun colors and it swirls and it looks really neat, but if I swatch this the way it's intended, I get this. That is not exactly my favorite color. I like these colors down here, you know. I mean, even it just isn't wanting to be what I envision when I look at the product in the container. Now, I already know it's going to get asked, and yes, you can technically just use certain sections that you like. So if I just wanted to use this yellow or the green, stuff like that. But a lot of the times with the mineralized eyeshadow, actually every time, since each one can have a different swirl, none of them look the same. So you can get, if you bought Jade's Fortune, the one on display at your store may look like mine, but then you get home and it has way more black veining all throughout, or it has way more blue or way more green. So it's kind of a gamble with these on how your personal, the exact eyeshadow that you get is going to look in the pan. So a lot of the times they can be really, really swirled together, and you might have to use a really small brush to get that green that you like or that yellow, and to me that's a lot more work than it's worth. I haven't worn these yet, as I said this is a first impression, but I have read reviews and apparently they don't last very long and they fade very, very quickly. Every year MAC puts these out and I am totally drawn in by the way that they look and then not very impressed with their application. So you can see swatches of those here, and that's all of the ones that I just showed. And if you need more clarification on that, of course, there's going to be reviews on my website that I'll link to below. So now let's move on to the mineralized blushes. This is Warmth of Coral, and this is Pressed Amber. These are pretty neutral toned. This one is a lot more toned down than I would assume it would have been, just from the name and from swatches I've seen online. This is much less bright coral like I thought it would be. So there's a swatch of that. You can see, I mean, it's not very strong at all. And then this is Pressed Amber. So good swatches from good camera right there. And so I do like the mineralized blushes more than the eyeshadows because it's not so dependent on blending and all of that. Another thing from this collection are the mineralized skin finishes. Now, I think that every collection that MAC puts out that has mineralized skin finish and then people flip out over them, and these ones are very weird. They look like they have a gemstone like crushed into the pigment. This is Semi Precious Pearl, and you can see what I mean about there being like a gemstone smashed in the middle. And this is Semi Precious Rose Quartz. So that is the outside rose part of Semi Precious Rose Quartz. I'll have swatches right there. This is for Semi Precious Pearl. This is the inside and that's the outside. Better swatches. And so what I would use these for is my cheeks, obviously, and you can blend them. See how bad it looks now that I touched it? Ugh. But you could use them separate. If you had like a smaller brush, use this as a highlight, and maybe that is like a contour color. Or this one blended as a blush or by itself and then a highlight color. So those are kind of different. I've never seen them do anything like that with the mineralized skin finish before. Alright, then I just have 2 lipsticks to show you. This is Lush Amber, and swatched. Looks like that. This is Musky Amethyst and swatched. So Musky Amethyst is a frost, so it showed up a lot darker. I thought it was going to be more red, but it definitely looks more like purple toned in the swatch I just did. And then Lush Amber is a luster, and that's why it's so sheer, but that's probably would be a nice, if you already have pale lips, that would be probably an okay nude color to use because it won't show up super, super intense. It'll probably just be very natural, but kind of take the color out of your lips a little bit. Then we have the Cream Sheen Glass. I got two of these again as well. This is Pure Magnificence, and it's just like a milky lilac. We'll swatch. So there's that. And then this is Natural Flare, which is just a mid-tone nude. It's a little bit darker than I normally go for. And swatched. But I guess it is sheer, so that would work for me as well. So I don't think I've used the Cream Sheen Glass before. Maybe I have. These seem a little bit bigger than the normal lip gloss. They're in the same container as Dazzle Glass used to be. And I know that they have like a very obviously creamy appearance. There's not really that much shimmer to them, which is, depending on your taste, could be a really nice thing. So it's not overly shimmery. Then the last thing I have from this is the Mineralized Charge Water Skin Hydrating Mist. Now, I've had people ask me what the difference between this is and Fix Plus, and what I believe, I mean, this has revitalizing energy, so I'm assuming that it kind of like energizes your skin, makes you feel more awake. And mainly what I would use this for is I would put this in the fridge. It is really hot in Austin. It's like in the hundreds and it's humid, which I'm not used to. I'm used to dry heat. So I think I'm going to put this in my fridge, and every time I walk past my fridge, just take it out and spray my skin, because I think that would make it feel really nice. This is not meant to set your foundation, and neither is Fix Plus. People think that Fix Plus is a foundation setting spray. It is definitely not. It's just meant to kind of rehydrate the skin, refresh the skin. If you have too much powder, kind of getting like a cakey look, you do a little Fix Plus and it can make that go away. Alright, so that's all for the Semi Precious collection. If you're going to pick something up, I would check out the blushes and the lipsticks, maybe the mineralized skin finishes. Not really a fan of the mineralized eyeshadows unless you really want them. They are really pretty in the pan, but they don't wear very well from my experience, and they don't generally appear how you want them to, and what they're going to look like in person is going to vary by every single eyeshadow. So it might not have as much green as you want, it might not have enough black, etc, etc. So if you guys are getting anything from this collection, let me know. And yeah, that's all for this MAC First Impressions, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!